pretty lady by my side, Lewis Hamilton of rap. Foot down, moving mammoth on the track, and I don't need no GPS to see my manner on the map. Still representing my flag, and I've been all around the world, I've done laps. And I got the whole crowd raising the roof, I'm Nigel Man, so better take off hats. Sticks to the flats, to the bass up max. People in the rain, better raise your hands, let me hear you make some noise. They tried to give me a ticket, but I ripped it like a raffle. Tell them people I am Mr. Derek Sack. Pedal to the metal on the level, I ain't gonna settle for anything less than gold. I ain't gonna meddle around about, end up and down and out, trying to build since I was a little kid, I never had an ego. Running through the fields and the meadows of Valley Valley, and now I'm on the hill. Watch your pedal was able to make a fake boy, I can never make a real boy hard to steal. I ain't gonna stop it till I do the people really get. I gave him a demo when I was touching to a deal, get it back up on the bill, get it fresh from the back. The bombs your uncle, lights up, can feel it because I've got the willpower and the potential, and I've got the credentials. All of the essentials, when I get stressed from my BB rises, but I'm never gonna stop unless I need to get petrol. Still speeding. Still speeding. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm the hand of Mona Lisa's dress. I'm a smile on every criminal you'll ever acquit. I'm the things you've done you never admit. 'Cause one hand is on the Bible and the other's in shit. But right now, you're
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the NEXXTCAR Racing League here on Sunday night for the NEXXTCAR Cup Series here, short track racing style at Richmond. And welcome to your NEXXTCAR pre-race show where we are joined as always with Peyton Tullock and Matt Tucker. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Ronnie?
What's up?
Not much. I'm ready for tonight. Back in action here in the NEXXTCAR Cup Series, and it is short track racing here in Week 8, also known as Champions Week.
Yeah, we've done this for a couple of years where the previous year's champion has been able to pick tracks of their choice. So, Daniel Plant Smith obviously won last year's truck championship and cup. So, with him picking cup for Richmond tonight, and then tomorrow night, obviously we didn't have trucks, but we got Xfinity. So, he ended up choosing Montreal. So, two very distinct, different track choices. So, we'll see how tonight and tomorrow night goes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Peyton, this week, like Tuck was just mentioning, NEXXTCAR, we do something special for the champion. Not only do you get a trophy, you get to pick a race on the next season's schedule for the respective series that you won the championship in. And like he said, Daniel Smith, he chose Richmond tonight for Cup, and then Xfinity taking a place for Truck Series. He picked Montreal up in Canada, a road course. So this is the 1 week out of the season that we're at two different racetracks this weekend. And like Tuck said, two completely different styles.
Yeah, Plant, as everybody knows the rules on it, you win the championship, you get to pick, not only you get your trophy, you get to pick the race you get. Well, he won both championships, so he was put in an interesting scenario. First pick of Richmond, pretty standard, nothing crazy there. But then he went Montreal, so he definitely wanted to throw us a curveball there. And like you said, it's the only week that we're not racing the same racetrack twice in a week. So should be extremely interesting to see how these two races play out because they're absolutely nothing alike.
Oh, for sure. And, Tuck, we got to talk about it, man. This is week 8. After week 10, we go NEXXTCAR playoff racing. We are getting down to crunch time. If you are going to make the NEXXTCAR playoffs, you have got to go now. And what a better place to get it kicked off right here at a short track where we know those bumpers are going to get used a lot tonight.
Yeah, definitely. 3 weeks left to make it. Only one crown jewel to get double stage points. So tonight, if you're on that cutoff line, you're going to try to maximize your point total. I know you got guys like Trenton Branson down there at the cutoff line. I know Caleb Lamb's down there, and then Adam Curtis. So you're going to want to maximize everything you got. Get stage points when you can, and then capitalize good finishes. That's one thing Trenton's done really good this year. Paul Irvin has had speed getting stage points, hasn't had the finishes he wants, but he's another one down there that is wanting just a good solid run tonight also.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's go ahead and let's check out your point standings coming into tonight after last week. Daniel Smith, he won this championship last season. Well, he is already off to a hot start this season. 100 points above that cutoff line, the first driver to hit that triple digit. But, man, it is heating up at that cutoff line, Peyton. Branson, 2 points above the cutoff line. Curtis, 2 points below it. Then you got Babcock back there in 14th, 24 points below. Tuck mentioned it. We got another crown jewel race coming up at Indianapolis in week 10. Many, many points up for grabs that night. So Babcock, Campeggio, he's still right in there. Wells. And then just right above it, Irvin, just 21 points above the cutoff line. Like Tuck said, he has had speed all season long, but has been yet to finish one of these races.
Yeah, we talked about it last week was truly go time. And now you're starting to see the pressure hit. Last week, tempers kind of reach a boiling point on some situations. And you can just tell. It's the nitty and gritty. Seasons are on the line. It's put up or shut up time. You have to have good races here, especially if you're near that cutoff line, or you're just going to be sitting at home in the playoffs. Of course, you'll be on the track, but you'll be thinking, what if the entire time? So it's going to be a hectic week. And what way to better kick it off in a short track? This is where, you will see guys, if they're in a desperate situation, they're going to send it. So it could get very interesting very quickly tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tuck, Peyton mentioned something very special when it comes to NASCAR and motorsports. You guys both said it is go time now. It's short track racing. But you got to be careful because, like Peyton said, Tuck, you might not be in the playoffs, or the guy that you move might not advance to the playoffs, but they're going to be out there on the track with you. We have seen tempers flare a lot this season, and you don't want to make too many enemies as we do get closer to those playoffs.
Oh no, you're dead right on that. I mean, that when you said tempers, the first thing I thought of was Don Francesco versus Alberto Abar a couple of years ago, where it was a couple weeks in a row where those two guys knew each other, and then Alberto just decided to take him out in that one. So, yeah, I mean, we've had some tempers flare last week. I know it was more on the Xfinity side than the Cup side, but yeah, we haven't really had that many enemies going at each other for this year on the Cup side. I mean, it's been smooth and steady. I mean, the two guys that really dominated the season for the first 7 weeks are both 1-2 in the points with Plant and Andrew Bolander. So we'll see what happens tonight. I mean, I feel like this is a good racetrack. We keep saying his name every week, and he's currently third on the board. He's got to win sometime soon. I feel like Ronnie Norman is going to win a race for the end of the regular season. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you were definitely right. He was my pick last week to get it done, but unfortunately came up a little short. But, Peyton, obviously, you know where the line is. But as we get closer to the playoffs and the aggression picks up, where is that fine line as a driver where a driver is in the zone or he crosses that line?
I think that's what makes it interesting is everybody has a different definition of what that line is. Like, my line could be 100 yards away from your line, Ronnie. So, in general aspect, who knows what the correct answer is, but if you cross, like, if a driver crosses another driver's line, like, that's where shit gets interesting quick. So, yeah, I think you're going to figure it out these next coming weeks. If guys get into it and continue to get into it, like, it could get ugly quick. So, especially when it comes near that, like, cutoff line, like we talked about. So, I wish I had the answer for the line, Ronnie, but hopefully I don't have to figure out the right answer.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Go ahead.
I also take that back. We did have drama last week in the Cup Series between 17 and 23. So yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, there's, like you said, we've had rivalries, but it hasn't been as outgoing and as quote unquote destructive as the one you mentioned earlier with Don Francisco and Abar. I mean, immediately, like you said, you've got to think back to those two a couple seasons ago and everything that went down at Indianapolis and turn one on lap one, and so. But yeah, the aggression has been there this season, but it's not really, minus a couple drivers, it's not really going anywhere.
No. I mean, I feel like everybody in here respects one another. I mean, we've been racing with each other for a long time. We have a couple rookies in here, and then guys that also return that have been gone as well. So we all know like what each other's going to do and what they will do and they won't do. And I think that's what makes us actually like pretty fair in a way. But we've had some few incidents this season, but you have that with kind of the tracks that we chose for the regular season too. So hopefully we get some good green flag runs tonight. I feel like this is probably one of the easier of the short tracks, with it being kind of three quarter of a mile and kind of slower. So hopefully we get some good long green flag runs tonight.
Yeah, no, you said this was the quote-unquote easier short track. Well, you know what? I would put this, honestly, as one of the easier tracks that we have had in the last couple of weeks. You got to go back 2 weeks. We were at Martinsville, Darlington last week, tonight Richmond, and then coming up in the final two races of the regular season, you got Vegas and Indianapolis. So Richmond, out of these last three races that we have been to, this is definitely one of the quote-unquote easier tracks that we've been to, Peyton, and I think a couple drivers are going to be happy to get this one through.
I'm glad y'all are thinking it's easy. I'll tell you what, out on the track, it doesn't feel that easy.
I say it's easy because I'm not out there.
Yeah, this track is very loose tonight already. Of course, it can grip up as the sun goes down, or maybe when the sun comes out, get more slick. Who knows? But
this is 10
right
in the morning, by the way.
Oh, it's a morning. Okay, so it might even get slicker because we got overcloud right now. So this track could get hotter. It could get even more slippery. So I know here in the past we only ran one race here, and it was a really good one. Shout out to Andrew for winning that one. But Yeah, I mean, I'm glad y'all think it's easy. It doesn't feel easy down here, and I'll tell you what, it's gonna be very interesting to see how guys pick to pass each other.
Well, get better.
Get better, huh? I won last week. Leave me alone.
But moving on, Peyton, this season has been the season of returning veterans of NEXXTCAR. We had Ronnie Norman making his big return to NEXXTCAR, obviously the season 2 dual champion. We had, excuse me, we had Trent Branson make his big return. Well, tonight we get to welcome back another veteran of NEXXTCAR, and that is the 08 of Noah Jackson, a driver we have not seen in the last couple of seasons here in NEXXTCAR, but here he is making his big return in that Caterpillar Ford right here at Richmond.
Talk about a guy with a lot of speed. Last season, he was the story of the town for most of the year. Couldn't find a way to victory lane forever. It felt like, but every week he was right there. So he's good. He's kind of the wild card tonight, right? I mean, he is literally trophy hunting. So short track got a guy who has speed in this league. So I'm very interested to see how he affects the outcome of this race.
Tuck, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, kind of piggybacking on Peyton there, but one other thing is that Noah was really competitive in the trucks. He never really raced on Monday night, so we'll see what he's got for the Cup cars. So I know he was good in trucks, but the Cup is a whole other animal when it comes to NEXXTCAR racing.
Yeah, for sure. And that's going to be something that I'm looking at is not only this race progresses, but as this season progresses is, we saw Norman make his return, but yet to find that competitive edge or competitive advantage that he had back in season 2, and the field is a lot more even, I would say, with him. And you mentioned it, Peyton, Noah has had a ton of speed in his NEXXTCAR career, and where does he level out with the competition?
Yeah, I think it's always probably an interesting scenario if you're a driver returning to a series because it's never the same as when you left it. There's a lot of guys in here that have came since Noah's left, so he'll have to learn very quickly how each and every one of them drives. He could be in an interesting scenario very early in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's take a quick jump back to our point standings because there are a couple other drivers we need to talk about. Austin Walton having a phenomenal season so far, 22 points above that cutoff line, up inside the top 10 in standings. But then you look a couple spots above him, and who is that in 6th and 7th? Still battling it on the track and in the standings? Well, that's none other than you two. To luck right now, you are holding on to that advantage 20 points above Tucker. What's it going to take tonight in these last 2 races to keep that 25 behind you?
No, any storm drains.
Consistency, clear
No storm
head,
drains,
and,
that's it.
yeah. And if he's behind me, I'd be aware of all storm drains. You never know when they can come get you. So
I didn't really get a chance in battle last week, and I still got a top 10 somehow.
yeah, I don't know what you're doing. You messed up last week a little bit. You had a little bit of help though. You had a little bit of help, but I mean, hey, as always, me and Tuck always seem to be around each other no matter where the hell it is. So I'm sure we'll be around tonight. But when Tuck's not wrecking me, we have some good battles. So hopefully we can still continue beating the 25. We're both washed at this point, but I think I'm a little less washed than he is.
Tuck, on the opposite side of that, what's it going to take to run down that 17 and get above him in the standings?
I'm just going to try to run my race. I'm not going to worry about Peyton him, but if it comes down to the last lap between me and him, I want the camera on the 17 and 25 because the frenemy is going to probably continue.
Oh, absolutely.
There's always one track where it's always me and Peyton always get into it somehow, and you never know when it's going to happen. But hopefully that's not tonight.
Yeah, and if the 17 and 25 are ever side by side and there's no bumpers beaten, no paint being swapped, there's something wrong with that race because, like you said, every time it comes down to that. But, another guy that's having a phenomenal season so far is that, where's the points? There it is. Is Rayshawn Wingfield up in third in the standing, 73 points above the cutoff line. He's jumped A-Bar. A-Bar's kind of struggling right now. But Wingfield has fought his way into that third place in the standings, closing in on the playoffs, and that is absolutely huge.
Yeah, I think Sean's been very. I was gonna say, I think Sean's been very consistent this year. We haven't really seen that in the last couple of seasons where he's been good, but he hasn't like finished races. So that's one thing that he's done well this season, and he's gotten 5 top 10s out of the 7 starts. So he's been up front for a lot of races, and probably wouldn't expect any different tonight.
Peyton, what you got?
I'm away from the 23. That's all I'll say on that. I mean, Sean has speed, but
What did you
Sean
say?
has. I just want to be away from him. Like
Oh,
last
yeah.
week, Timbers bowled over me and him, and I'm ready to move on. I'll be honest. Like I made my point last week, so hopefully he'll move on. But something tells me that's not how Sean operates. It never has been. Probably never will be. So we'll see. I mean, if I race Sean clean tonight, I'm expecting the same. But if he starts it, we'll see what happens. So
I'll just say this: rumor has it that the 23 wrecked the 53 on a league race Friday night, so there might be some bad blood between those two.
Sean and Ian having rivalries with drivers in the field. Never. I mean, he's probably got like 7 out there right
I'm
now.
just
So
saying there was a heated conversation Friday night between those two.
needless to say, Ronnie, if the 23 has any contact with the driver tonight, they're probably mad at him.
Yeah, no, for sure. But we mentioned his name earlier. He has had speed all season, and that's the guy currently sitting 3rd on the leaderboard here in practice. And that's none other than that 92 Ally Chevy of Paul Irvin. What is it going to take for the 92 to finally close out one of these races? He has fought his way through the field multiple times each week, gets back up there, and then something happens. And, I feel bad because it's almost like every time I'm talking about him and praising him, something happens to that Chevy.
Yeah, I just think Paul's one of those guys that has a lot of speed. And yet again, he's a guy I've been waiting to win. But I also feel like he's one of those guys that drives 100% to 110% of his ability every lap. And when you do that, like, that's great. I mean, obviously he has a lot of speed, but it kind of reminds me of Carson Host far away right now. Like, he has speed that can win. But the problem is you put yourself in aggressive situations, and there is bad luck, but I'm also a believer you kind of make your own bad luck. Sometimes he's putting himself in these bad positions and it doesn't work out for him. Or sometimes he just overdrives and something happens. So trust me, we've all been there. So I think the ticket for Paul is to find that line, maybe start trying to run closer to 90%. If he can just keep the car under him, stay around, he'll have a shot to win. He has the speed to do it. Just don't put yourself in these bad holes to get your. I mean, not all the holes he's being put into are on him, but don't put yourself in positions that you can control and just be there at the end.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. He starts out the races, something happens, and then he's forced to push himself above that 100%, and that is when those secondary mistakes come in. But Tuck, as a competitor with that 92, I mean, obviously you've seen his speed. What is he going to have to do to close out these races?
I mean, just do what he does the first 3/4 of the race. Just stay consistent, run fast laps. So don't get over like anxious and like run yourself in a mistake. I know we've had some guys do that. It's cost them not only playoff berth, but it's costed them a chance at the championship too. So just don't make mistakes where it puts yourself in a bad disadvantage. So because currently, I mean, yes, he looks fine on the playoff grid, but he's only 21 points above Adam there in 13th. So Adam's got speed. Adam, huh?
Yeah, that's not safe. Like,
No, it's
I
not
would be
safe at
nervous.
all. And Adam has speed tonight. Also, remember Adam finished 3rd here, I think, in the trucks like last year. So, yeah. So it's never over until it's over.
Oh, absolutely not. Not over till that checkered flag is in the air with that leader crossing it. But hey, final comments for tonight's race. Peyton, what's it going to take for that 17 to go back to back on a Sunday night here in NEXXTCAR?
I think it's probably just getting back to being me. Like, last week got a little heated behind the wheel, and maybe it worked out for me. But after all, we did win the race. But at the end of the day, like, I'm usually better than that. So just keep calm. If we get put in a bad situation, just chug along like we always do in the 17 and be there at the end. Like I just talked about with Paul, like you got to be there at the end to win these races. Things are going to happen. So just be consistent, control what I can control, and we'll be there at the end. We were there last time we were here, and Cat got the better of me, but I feel like we'll have a shot tonight.
Absolutely. Matt, obviously last week at Darlington did not necessarily go the way you had planned in that 25. Still walked away at that top 10, but what's it going to take tonight to find that W Chevy to victory lane?
Yeah, just not wreck on lap 5. So that's going to be the goal. Also, to point out, me and Peyton are currently 7th and 8th on the grid, so we still can't get away from each other, even if we tried. So, I think tonight it's going to be whoever saves their tires the best, and I think probably the 53 does that the best of anybody in the league. So I think it's going to be his race to lose. Just gotta try to stay consistent and just hopefully get some stage points, and then might just try to sneak out top 5. So we'll see what happens tonight. Think it's going to be pretty competitive as Peyton does burnouts from my car in the pit.
Absolutely, boys. Well, I appreciate you jumping up here for your NEXXTCAR pre-race show tonight, and best of luck here at Richmond.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
But folks, that is your NEXXTCAR pre-race show from Richmond Raceway. Practice is over. It is time for qualifying. This is the NEXXTCAR Cup Series here at Richmond Raceway.
Here we go. It's about time that we set it off. Here we go. Red lights, I could never stop. A dreamer with the fever to be great was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. A fighter with the fever for the fame was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. Got me singing like bang, 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 bang. This fire's a weapon. Bang, 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 bang. Won't stop till we're legends. Won't stop till we're legends. Here we go. It's my turn to make history. Here we go. When I'm gone, they'll remember me. Yeah, a dreamer with the fever to be great was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. A fighter with the fever for the fame was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. Got me singing like bang, 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 bang. This fire's a weapon. Bang, 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 bang. Won't stop till we're legends.
All right, folks, welcome back here to the NEXXTCAR Cup Series for the second short track race of the season right here at Richmond Raceway. Let's check out your race information for tonight here in Week 8, Champions Week 130, presented by True Designs Racing Cockpits and W Energy. If you guys do not know what True Designs is, well, that is a paint scheme creator and designer team that is owned and operated by our very own Nicholas Trudeau, who has painted so many of these beautiful cars you will see out on the track tonight and tomorrow night. 175 laps, 130 miles with your stage break coming at lap 80. This is Champions Week 130, folks. Track temperature, 93 degrees Fahrenheit. This track is hot. This track is slick, and these drivers are going to be slipping and sliding, trying to keep that car underneath them all night long. 73 degrees Fahrenheit, air temperature, 37% humidity under cloudy skies with that wind blowing at 7 miles an hour. Tonight, you heard it from Peyton Tulloch and Matthew Tucker. This race is going to be difficult. This race, there's going to be a lot of beating and banging because, folks, the NEXXTCAR Cup Series playoffs is right around the corner. In 2 weeks, we will find out who will be going to the playoffs. But tonight, it gets settled right here at Richmond, short track racing style at this 0.75 mile track. Richmond, it's tough. It's difficult. Not as bad as Darlington last week. If these drivers can survive last week, then I expect a great race tonight. There is no doubt about it. But qualifying quickly coming to an end. Let's check out your point standing one more time coming into tonight's race. We mentioned it, Daniel Smith, 100 points above the cutoff line. Officially, he is into your Season 8 playoffs, but you have got to jump immediately to that cutoff line. Branson, just 2 points above the cutoff line. Curtis, 2 below. This is still anybody's game to make the playoffs. Irvin, 21 points above. Austin Walton, 22. Ballinger, 32. He's still not mathematically in the playoffs yet. Especially in week 10, we go to our 4th crown jewel race of the season. It's also our final crown jewel race of the season, and that means 2 stages and a lot of points on the line up for grabs in that one. But below the cutoff line, you've got Babcock 24 points back, Campeggio 25 back. So these drivers all still mathematically with a shot of making the Season 8 Cup Series playoffs. Who knows who's going to grab those final couple positions? But what I do know, folks, is it is about time to go racing here at Richmond. Qualifying is over. And Colin Ballinger is going to find his way to the pole tonight. Let's check out your starting grid. Colin Ballinger grabbing the pole tonight with a 21.644, with Ronnie Norman starting outside of that first row in second. We mentioned it in the pre-race show. When was that 18 going to find his way back to victory lane for the first time since Season 2? Well, he's got it kicking off here at Richmond one of the best ways possible on that front row. Paul Irvin going to grab that 3rd position. Great start for the 92 with Robert Babcock, a phenomenal qualifying run in 4th. Row number 3 is going to go to Peyton Tulloch in that 17 with Gary Wills in that 87 to his outside. Daniel Smith's going to grab that 7th starting position with Owen Bridges, a great qualifying run in that 99. He's going to be on the outside of row number 4 with row number 5 going to Matt Tucker and Alberto Abar. Trent Branson in 11th, Adam Curtis 12th, Mike Campeggio back there in 13th with Noah Jackson to his outside in his return to NEXXTCAR. Caleb Lamb 15th with Jesse Graham on the outside of row 8. Row number 9 is going to go to Andrew Bolander in that 17th position with Rayshawn Wingfield to his outside. Austin Walton grabbing that 19th spot with Dougie Higgins rounding out your top 20, with Lonnie Wiggins grabbing that final qualifying spot in 21st. What do you say we try to dial up your pole sitter? Never mind, your pole sitter does not have his comms up, so we are not going to be able to talk to him over the radar or radio. But hey, that pace car is leading the NEXXTCAR Cup Series field off of pit road. We are about to go racing. Next time by, the pace car will be hooking that hard left onto pit lane. The field right behind the pace car. The NEXXTCAR Cup Series side-by-side, bumper-to-bumper behind that iRacing pace car down through turns 3 and 4 for the first time tonight. That pace car hooking the hard left onto pit lane. The control of the field is in the flagman's hands, and we are racing for 175 laps, and Ronnie Norman spins the tires on the restart. We stay green, but stacks the field up behind him. Norman immediately falling back. Caution is out. And we have made it 50 yards to start the race. Ronnie Norman spinning the tires on the outside row. Let's back it up and see what exactly happened. You can see Babcock's giving him plenty of room behind him. He just gassed it up, and that car went right around Babcock. A lot of damage to the left front of that, too. Man, you got to hate it for Babcock. Obviously doing nothing wrong. Let's jump inside the helmet cam of that Target Camry. Just no warning, the 18 spinning tires, and right around he goes. And grabbing the left front fender of that number 2 Target Toyota. But caution is out after the first 50 feet. But Colin Bollinger, through all that's going to hold on to that top position here on lap 3, with Paul Irvin moving up to second. And you see Andrew Bolander right behind the pace car is 1 lap down. He had to start on pit lane, so he will be getting his lap back here when we get ready to go back racing next time by. If you're Paul Irvin, you got to be a little worried after what you just saw, because now this is going to be your chance to start on the outside of that 53. Now, you've got to be worried. You got to be careful not to gas it up too hard and spin your tires, because we just saw how bad that can be, as Norman now all the way back in that 18th position on pit lane. The Tua Babcock, he's going to stay out on the track with the damage to the left front of that Camry. Obviously doesn't think it's bad enough. The wheel must be heading in the right direction, and he's going to stay out there as the time has come. The lights are off on the pace car, and we are back side by side here on lap 5. Bolander getting his lap back, his wave around. Adam Curtis down on pit road in a 69. He must have got a little bit of damage out of that as well. But back down into turns 3 and 4 we go. The pace car back on pit lane. The control of the field is in the 53's hands. He fires off. We are back racing here at Richmond, and we have made it to turn 1, folks. Bollinger has left the field behind him. Irvin in second. The first 4 drivers all single file with side by side. Here comes Branson on the outside. Looks like the 12 of Dougie Higgins is going to get loose. He's going to save it. We do get a second caution, and Norman just barely going to miss the 12. And that all stems from that first restart, or the initial start, where the 18 spun the tires, got him in the back of the field, and barely going to miss carnage on the backstretch here, as we are under caution for the second time tonight. The 12 coming off of turn 2, just gasses it up a little too hard, and right around she goes. And man, Norman just barely missing the 12. Let's jump on the roof cam of Norman and the 18. Just down off of turn 2, sees the 12 downer, expects him to stay down there, and the 12 gasses it up and comes back up the track. Man, Norman, great job of missing him. But under caution for the second time tonight. Bollinger, Irvin, Tulloch, Tucker, Branson, your top 5 with Abar, Bridges, Campeggio, Jackson, and Lamb, rounding out your top 10. We're going to keep an eye on that second row on this restart. Tulloch and Tucker, you heard them talking the pre-race show. Every time those two get side by side, well, something happens. And here they are going to be restarting side by side this time. Norman back up into that 13th position, trying to rebound from that first lap incident at the start-finish line. Dougie Higgins going to get that 12 back rolling. He's going to be all the way back in that 20th position. How can he rebound in that Ford? But the lights should be going off of that pace car this time, and they do. We are back side by side here at Richmond. Lonnie Wiggins, the first driver to have to take his car to the hauler. He is officially out of this one in that 21st position. But here we go, getting ready to go back racing this time by as we will complete 10 laps out of 175. The 53 of Colin Bollinger will be your control car once again. Irvin to his outside. Down into the NEXXTCAR restart zone we go. We are back underway here at Richmond. Another great launch by the 53. And the 92's got a mere 4 to 25 down into turns 1 and 2. 25 outside, 17 inside. Can the 17 clear to 25? He cannot. Here comes the 25 powering back. And here comes the 45 of Abar. Abar almost had a full head of steam down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Has to lift. He's going to lose it through 3 and 4. He's going to keep it underneath them, but that is going to cost him a position or two as they head down into turn number 1. Here comes the 14 of Mike Campeggio on the outside of the 08. Oh, and they both spin, the 32 and the 99. We are back under caution for the third time. Branson, who cannot afford this here in the closing stages of the regular season, just 2 points above the cutoff line, and he's going to lose it again out of 4. A lot of damage to the left front of that 32. You can see it right there, the hood popping up, the fender all scraped up. Let's back it up and see what just happened to that W Energy Chevy out of turn 2. Looks like he just kind of lost it all by himself right with the 99. They synchronized, spun it. The 32 and 99 both synchronized, spinning out of turn 2, and we are under caution for the third time tonight. But Branson going to continue to put down laps. There he goes. Now he's going to bring that 32 machine down onto pit lane, and he is going to get some work done to that W Chevy. But But Colin Bollinger continues to lead the way here on lap 15. Norman, through all of that, he's back up inside the top 10, up into 9th. Wakefield, he's up into that top 10 as well, up 10 spots from the start of the race, up there in 8th. Right now, he is your biggest mover of the night, and your biggest loser so far has been Robert Babcock and Gary Wills, both minus 12. Paul Irvin, he's up a spot. Peyton Tulloch's up 2. Matt Tucker's up 5, along with Alberto Abar up 5 as well. Mike Campeggio with a great start in at 14 into that 6th position, up 7 spots from the drop of the green flag. But folks, the lights are back off on that pace car. The field side by side, bumper to bumper. And that means one thing and one thing only. We are going back racing this time. The pace car hooking a hard left back onto pit lane. The control of the field once again is in the hands of that 53. Down out of turn 4 into the NEXXTCAR restart zone we go. We are back racing here at Richmond on lap 17. Down into turns 1 and 2, the 25, 17, side by side, the front 2. Get it sorted out. The 92 trying to cross over out of 2, the 53 covers. Now the 53 drifts up the track. Here comes the 92 of Irvin. Can he get underneath them? Side by side out of 4, 53 prevails at the line. Further back, Noah Jackson finds himself in a side-by-side battle with Rayshawn Wingfield with the 14 and 43 right in front of them, side by side. Ronnie Norman right behind those two battles. Jumping on the hood cam of, or the roof cam of Ronnie Norman in that 18, right behind the big battle in front of him. Gets up into that outside wall out of 4. That's going to allow the 77 to Caleb Lamb to make the big move to his inside. He's going to clear the 18. Now he's going to bring the battle back to the inside of the 77. Campeggio way up the track into 14 through 3 and 4. Daniel Smith trying to work his way back up through this field. -4 positions where he runs right now from the drop of the green flag. He's trying to work his way back up to where he started. He's almost going to lose it out of 2. Keeps that Pennzoil Camry underneath him down through turns 3 and 4. The 09, that's Austin Walton. He's going to push up the track a little bit with the Target Camry right behind him. And around's going to go the 08. Noah Jackson around on the front stretch. He's going to bring out the caution again here on lap 21. Well, at least we got a couple of green flag laps out of that run. But let's back it up and see what happened here out of 4. He's got Alberto Abar to his outside. He kind of pushes up. I don't even know if they touched. I don't think there was any contact there between the 08 and 43. I think there was just a little bit of he lost the air. Yeah, no, he just lost the air coming across the nose of the 43 right there, who got a shot from the 23. But Noah Jackson's going to get that 08 back down and away. But let's back it up here, because that 23 gave an absolute shot to the back bumper of that 43. Going to have to keep an eye and see if there's any damage to the front of that 23 Bush Apple Camry. Once we can find Rayshawn. There he is. Let's jump on his hood cam again. Because this was a major contact right here. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage to the back of the 43, but it's going to be interesting to see how much damage is there to the front of that 23. And you can see it, folks. The splitter is pushed up dead center of that Camry, And that is going to be, you can see it right there. It's going to be interesting to see how does that affect the aero of that 23. It's short track racing, so you don't necessarily rely a whole lot on aero, but it's going to be interesting to see how does that Toyota perform as this race progresses. But we are back under caution here again on lap 24. Bollinger, Irvin, Tucker, Tulloch, and Abar, your top 5, with Wingfield, Campeggio, Norman, Lamb, and Smith rounding out your top 10. Great look of the field as they go down the backstretch here at Richmond. But the lights are off on that iRacing pace, pace car once again, and we are going back racing next time by. Well, the 92 learned what not to do from the 18 there on lap 1 on the initial start of the race, because that 92 has had no issues on these restarts hanging with that 53, not spinning the tires. So, unfortunately, the 18 seemed to be the guinea pig a little bit there for the outside restart, but hey, we are heading down into turns 3 and 4 once again. The pace car hooking that hard left onto pit lane. The control of the field once again in Bollinger's hands, and we are back under race here at Richmond. Green flag back in the air, and a great launch by the 25. He's going to get underneath the 92. Not going to be able to clear him down into turns 1 and 2, but here comes Wingfield on the outside. Remember, he just got into the back of the 43 hard. 92 covers the inside. Tulloch's going to push up a little bit, got tight in the wake of the 92. He's going to stack up the 43, who's going to get a shot from the 77 behind him. Now the 14 of Campeggio, he's going to try to work his way back up on the inside of 31. He's all over the back bumper, the 18 of Norman. The field makes it back down through turns 1 and 2 once again. The battle continues side by side for 8th. Tucker down on the apron. He almost lost it out of 4. 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. The 2 gets shoved up the track. Campeggio in the middle of a 3 wide situation. Now the 25 is going to try to slide up. Now here comes Babcock trying to dive it in underneath the 14. Bolander way up the track in the 8. Babcock trying to bring the battle back to the inside of that 14 Camaro through turns 1 and 2. 14 outside, 2 inside, side by side down the backstretch out of 2 into 3. The 14 way up the track. Campeggio trying to keep the 14 underneath them. Bolander back up the track in the 8 as well. Running as close to that outside wall as he could. 3 wide once again through 1 and 2. 08 inside, 99 middle, 8 outside. They get it sorted. But out front, Bollinger continuing to lead the way here as we come across to complete lap 30 out of 175. But 23 and 17 side by side through 1 and 2. And immediately, you've got to think back to what went down last week at Darlington. These two not happy with each other. The 23 was not happy with the way the 17 raced him. The 17 was not happy with the way the 23 acted. Well, here they are once again, short track racing here at Richmond, side by side. You heard the 17 in pre-race said he left out all in the past. Well, has the 23. He saw the 17 after some aggressive moves go to victory lane last week. How does that affect the way that Camry races that Chevy? The 17 clears him. 23 immediately dives right behind him. Abar trying to take advantage. The 23 up the track into the outside wall. That's going to stack up the 43 and 18 behind him. Now the 23 goes up the track. The 43 underneath him. He's going to not clear him out of 4. Side by side right in front of the 18 of Norman once again. 43 inside, 23 outside. Wingfield's going to try to gather it back up on the outside, and he will. Almost contact down the backstretch. This battle continues all the way back down into turns 3 and 4 once again. The 43, how aggressive is he going to start racing as the 2 of Babcock is sideways down the front stretch? He's going to keep that Camry going straight. We stay green here on 35. But back to that side-by-side battle. Smith's going to lose it down the backstretch. He keeps that 31 underneath them. But the 43 continuing to run that inside line with the 23 continuing to get the good run off the high line, side by side, dead even at the line. And now the 23 tries to pinch him off. The 43 drives it in deep. Who's going to give out a 2? Nobody. 23 up into the outside wall. He's going to clear the 43. Now he misses the corner again. That opens up the door again for the 43. Side by side, just when they get it figured out, somebody misses the corner, and side by side they go again. The battle continues out of 2. Norman right behind him, watching out of his front windshield. The battle, now the 43 clears him and slides up in front of the 23. Now Norman's going to try to join the battle. He cannot. But Irvin hanging on strong in second, just 0.3 of a second behind your leader. To Luck comfortably in third. A-Bar up to fourth. Wingfield fifth. Matt Tucker's falling back to the 7th with his hands full of that Caterpillar Ford of Noah Jackson in his return to NEXXTCAR. Now Norman's going to try and make a move on Wingfield into 23. The 23 left the door open. The 18's going to take it now, but the 23 is going to get a great run down the backstretch. The 18 tries to throw it in there again, but here comes the 25. The 18 all over the back bumper. The 23s, he gets loose. Now the 18 gets loose. Both of them slipping and sliding out of 4. Here comes the 08 underneath. Noah Jackson taking advantage of that 18 struggle out of 2 or out of 4. Now he's going to move up his position. Norman drops back to 7th. Now can Tucker take advantage? Campeggio at the tail end of this lead group. But now the 23 goes way up the track. The 08 prevails. He's going to take that position out of 2. Now can Norman run back down that 23 and 08 to 31. Gives the 25 a shot through 3 and 4. That propels the 25 to the back bumper, the 18. Now, here comes the 31 of Daniel Smith underneath the 25. The 18 running that middle lane, drops it down in front of the 31. That's going to get that 31 tight. That's going to allow the 25 to get a good run off of 2. He's going to clear the 31, but the 31 sends it. The 25 pushes up the track big time out of 4, but enough to keep that 31 behind him here on lap 43. Trent Branson trying to march back forward here in that 19th position in the 32 car. He had a great qualifying run. An incident on the backstretch a couple cautions ago has put him behind the 8 ball. Now trying to work his way back up through the field. But Ballinger starting to maybe slowly pull away from Irvin. The gap now just a half second. But Irvin finding his way back through 3 and 4. Bridges and Branson continue their big battle back here. That is for that 18th position. Branson's going to take it over. You can see a lot of damage to the front of the 99 as they're going to continue running side by side. Norman's fallen big time. Caution is out for the 5th time tonight as Ronnie Norman once again finds himself sitting sideways, this time on the backstretch. Let's back it up and see what happened. Wingfield just way too hard through turns 1 and 2. Goes up into the outside wall. Let's see if maybe there was a little bit of contact here that led to that. Oh. Yeah, the 23 just gets back to the gas a little too early. The car doesn't rotate, bounces off the wall, and collects that 18 in Norman. Oh, and the 12 just piles in there. The 09 comes in late as well. But under caution for the 5th time tonight, you can see that left wheel, the hub, completely broken off of that 23 Toyota. But under caution for the 5th time tonight here on lap 47. Pit road is busy except for one guy, Daniel Smith in that 31, staying out here under this caution. Smith, Bollinger, Irvin, Tulloch, Jackson, your top 5 with Abar, Tucker, Campeggio, Higgins, and Wills rounding out your top 10. Let's jump back to Dougie Higgins in that 12. How much damage does he have through all that? I'm not seeing a whole lot of damage to that Ford Mustang, so he's going to keep that body armor car down on that track. Remember, he was just involved in that last incident late, along with the 09. Who is still on pit road getting that Napa Chevy serviced. He's going to get down and away here. But lights are off on the iRacing pace car. We are going back racing next time by, and this time Daniel Smith is going to choose the outside line. The first time we have seen the leader pick that outside line. Folks, if this is your first time tuning into the NEXXTCAR Racing League, well, we allow the leader and the leader only to have lane choice on these restarts. If you are third on back, you line in respective to your position, but that front row, the leader, gets to choose his restart place, and the 31 of Smith has chosen the outside line for the first time tonight, and down into the restart zone we go. He fires off clean. We are back racing here at Richmond, but how long can those old tires hang on for that 31 Toyota? To lock up the track through turns 1 and 2, he's going to get that 17 back underneath them. The 08's going to jump up in front of A-Bar to cover the high line, but Campeggio, great job of covering that inside behind the 25. The 87 of Gary Wells continues his strong run tonight. Great qualifying run. Now he's trying to translate that into a great performance tonight. He's just outside the top 10, and A-Bar's around. A-Bar in the 43 into the inside wall. We stay green, no caution. He's got a lot of damage to the left front of that car. But we stay green here at Richmond on lap 52, where Smith has fallen back to second and possibly more out of 2, as Irvin looking to take advantage of those fresh tires. Irvin clears the 31. He's up to second. Jackson, he's in 4th. He's trying to apply the pressure to the 31. He's going to get to the inside of that Pennzoil Camry. The 31 backs off, lets the 08 have it. Now Tucker, can he get around the 31? Tulloch has fallen back into that 18th position, so something happened between the 43 and 17. Let's jump back and see what happened between the 43 and 17 here. Normally we don't do this under racing conditions. Oh, the 17 lost it by himself. Locks it down. Still no caution for him. But then something happened with A-Bar as well. It's not coming up on our replay for him, but now the 17 almost lost it again there. But here on lap 55, Bollinger has taken over the lead, and Daniel Smith has fallen back to 6th in a battle on those old tires. And Owen Bridge is going to go round out back. We are going to go back under caution for the 6th time tonight, as that Subway Toyota Camry sitting sideways on the apron of the backstretch. Let's back it up and see what happened out of 2. like we've seen a lot tonight, just gassed it up before the car was ready. And on this hot, slick track, that car went right around here on lap 56. But under caution for the 6th time tonight. But folks, we're going to step away here for a quick break. Don't go anywhere because we have got more of the action from Richmond right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, folks, welcome back here to this 3/4 mile track of Richmond Raceway, where we are getting ready to go back racing here after our 6th caution of the night. The pace car hooking that hard left back onto pit lane. The control of the field is back in the hands of that 53. He fires off, and we are back racing here on lap 59. Bollinger with a great launch. Irvin matches him perfectly in the 92. Can he get a crossover move out of 2? He cannot. Here comes Babcock 3 wide down the backstretch. The 12's going to clear to 14. 14's going to push up a little bit to 2, trying to take advantage. Out of 4, they go side by side. 14 outside, 2 inside. Right behind them, 18 inside, 87 outside, with Mike Campeggio going up the track through turns 1 and 2, but gets a great run out of 2 down the backstretch. They stay side by side through 3 and 4 that time. Tucker trying to work his way up through the field as well on that outside line in the 25. He's to the outside of the 08. 08 not going away easily down the backstretch. He's going to drive it in there. They both do. Tucker way up the track, up into the marbles. He's going to have to lift. He does not lift. He gets the 25 to rotate out of the corner. He's going to take that full head of steam down the front stretch. Once again, in that middle groove through turns 1 and 2, making that high line work. The 08's going to get loose out of 2. That's going to open up the door for the 25 to clear him. But the 25, once again, back up the track. The 12 follows suit. The 12 followed the 25 right up the track, side by side. Absolute dead even at the line. Stage break is on lap 80, folks. 15 laps to go. Next time, in this stage. Bollinger has been the car to beat all night long, but Irvin hanging close, just 0.2 of a second back. If you're Irvin, this season has had its highs, and it's also had its lows for that 92. When is that Ally Chevy going to find his way to victory lane? He's won a couple stages this season, but has yet to get that 92 to victory lane. Can tonight be the night? But here comes Noah Jackson in the 08 and his big return to NEXXTCAR tonight. Ronnie Norman up inside the top 10. He's in that 9th spot in the 18. Rayshawn Wingfield trying to march forward into 23 as well, trying to rebound from that incident out of turn 2 with himself and Ronnie Norman. He's up into that 7th position right behind Higgins in the 12. Dougie Higgins having a phenomenal run in that 12 Ford Mustang. Currently sitting as your biggest mover of the night, plus 14 spots in that Ford up into that 6th position. So great run from the driver from Great Bend, Pennsylvania. Doing a great job of covering that inside line. The 23 is going to get a little tight behind him. Now the 12 covers, but now here comes the 23 with a crossover out of 4. He's going to clear the 12 easily down the front stretch. The 23 of Rayshawn Wingfield takes the position. Higgins falls back to 7th, but here comes Campeggio in the 14. Can he bring the battle to the back bumper of the 12? Both those drivers having a phenomenal run tonight, the 12 and 14. But now they're going to battle this thing out together down into turns 1 and 2. 12's going to keep that 14 behind them, right behind them a couple spots. Daniel Smith, Adam Curtis, their big battle. This is for that 10th position. This is for that final payout spot in 10 laps when the stage ends. Right now, Daniel Smith has the spot. Adam Curtis wants it. He needs it. He came into tonight's race 2 points behind Trenton Branson for that final playoff spot in a couple of weeks. Branson has struggled. He's back there in that 15th position. If Adam Curtis can translate this great run tonight into a stage finish, a couple extra points, that'll get his foot in the door of the NEXXTCAR Cup Series playoffs. But right now, he has fallen back to that 11th position and losing ground on the 31. But the big battle continues in front of them. The 12 and 18, bumper to bumper, as now the 14's trying to join them as Dougie Higgins has passed Norman. Now Norman trying to bring the battle back. Irvin's fallen back 0.6 of a second behind your leader into the grass of that 08. How aggressive does Jackson get? The 92 holding him up here a little bit down the back stretch out of 2. How aggressive does he get when he gets to the back bumper of the 92? Because Bollinger is pulling away 0.7 with 6 laps to go in the stage. The side-by-side battle continues with Higgins and Norman. Campeggio right behind these guys with Smith right on his rear bumper. Oh, up the track goes the 14. That's going to open up the door for the 31. The 12's going to clear. 14's up into the outside wall out of 4. That's going to drop that 14th back into that 10th position, that final stage paying spot. Can he hold on for 5 more laps? Oh, Smith's going to almost lose it out of 2. He's trying to get everything he can out of that 31. He's going to drive it in deep into turns 3 and 4. 12 up the track. Not a great exit for the 12 out of 4. That's going to open up the door for Campeggio on the 14. Can he take advantage of the 12 struggle here late? He's going to get underneath the 12. He's going to bring the battle to the inside down the backstretch. Side by side they go down into turns 3 and 4. 12 outside, 14 inside, multiple cars up the track. The 14's going to clear to 12, but the 12 back in a big battle with the 87 of Gary Wells. Wells trying to join the late battle for stage points. He's going to try to get around the 12 down the backstretch. Not going to be able to do so. Here comes the 77 to the inside of Adam Curtis. That's Caleb Lamb. Curtis way up the track into 69 with Caleb Lamb. He's going to take advantage. He's going to clear to 69, and here comes Jesse Graham. Jesse Graham trying to work his way up through this field into 5. 2 laps to go here in stage 1. White flag this time here in stage 1. Ballinger is going to see it. Jackson second. 0.7 of a second back. Irvin has fallen back to 3rd. Tucker back and 4th. Babcock, a great phenomenal run in 5th. But right now, Wells holding on to that final points paying spot in the stage. Can he hang on to it down the backstretch? He cannot. We are going to stay green here for the end of the stage. Ballinger's going to win stage 1. We are now under caution as Caleb Lamb, I'm sorry, not Caleb Lamb, Gary Wells lost it down the backstretch for the final lap of stage 1. Man. Had himself in a position to get points pay, but now loses it all out of 2. Just gassed it up like we've seen so much, overcorrected it. Woo! Man, the 69 barely missing him. The 32 is going to barely miss him. But let's back it up and let's see just how close this was for the 77 of Lamb, because he barely missed that left rear quarter panel of that Dubby Chevy by mere inches. Let's jump on the NEXXTCAR blimp. Man, that is as close as it gets, folks. That is not what you want to see if you are a fan of that 77. Let's jump on the roof cam here of the 87 of Wells. My goodness. That's just, man. That is as close as it gets, folks. But that will be the stage as Ballinger is going to find his way to another stage win this season. Colin Ballinger, your stage winner here. Ballinger, Jackson, Irvin, Tucker, Babcock, your top 5 after pit stops. Let's talk about this too. He had struggles early on in this race in the opening laps. He got that left front damage on that first initial start of the race where the 18 of Norman spun the tires on the outside of the front row. He got damage to the front of that car. But here he is at the end of stage 1. Inside the top 5. What a rebound for that Target Toyota Camry. Robert Babcock has done a phenomenal job tonight. He's faced some adversity, but keeping his head straight and calm. And here he is inside the top 5 for that 5th position at the end of stage 1. Great job. Great performance for that 2 tonight. Dougie Higgins, Caleb Lamb, Mike Campeggio, all getting stage points at the end of stage 1. Again, phenomenal race for those guys. The 12, 77, and 14 tonight. Can it be the night that one of those guys get to victory lane? But the lights are off on that iRacing pace car. Guess what, folks? The stage is over. This is the battle to the checkered flag. All 216 of you guys viewed this broadcast across YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Well, I appreciate you guys, but here we are. The stage is over. It is go time. The points have been paid out. It's all on the line for the checkered flag, and we are back underway here at Richmond. A great launch by the 53. The 08's going to fall back a little bit. Can the 92 take advantage? Oh, the 08's going to lose it through turns 1 and 2. He keeps it under control. He's going to lose a position, maybe more out of 2. Here comes the 25. Matt Tucker trying to take advantage of the 08, trying to keep that forward underneath him through 3 and 4. This time he's going to do so. Now the 25 is going to get 3 wide in the middle. Caution is back out for the 09. Sorry, we stay green. We're still green. I'm sorry, no caution for the 09. He was sitting sideways, losing it through that infield grass. Tucker up the track. Babcock on the apron. Tucker's going to take that position. He's going to move up into 4th. Now, here comes Norman in that AMSOIL Toyota Rennie outside in the 18. He's going to power his way around the 2. Babcock says, not so fast, buddy. Get back here. I'm taking a battle back through turns 3 and 4. Side by side for 2 rows. The 2 and 18. 31 and 12. Bumper to bumper. Side by side. Norman continues that strong run around the outside. He's going to clear Babcock this time out of 2. Babcock, can he cover the high line? He cannot. But somebody's all out of sorts here. That's the 92 of Irvin. He's going to fall back to 3rd. Now, side by side battle out of 4 for the lead. The 08's going to lose it. The 12 goes around 14, 77. All damage here on the front stretch. We're under caution for the 8th time tonight. Dougie Higgins in the 12, sideways at the start-finish line, and the field piled in. Man, you hate to see that for the 12, 14, and 77. Those guys all had a great run going, and now it's going to stall out here on lap 89. The 12 on the outside just loses it, noses it into the outside wall. The 77 gets into the 14, gets into the back of the 77. 32 comes down and cleans out the 5. Man. Let's jump on the roof cam of that 14 of Mike Campeggio because it all just landed in his lap out of 4. Right there, you see the 12. Does a great job of missing the 12, but the 77, unfortunately, right in his path. Let's jump in the helmet cam of the 14. Great job of missing the 12. But then just calamity on the other side. But now let's take a look at what happened between the 32 and the 5 of Jesse Graham. This was after they had missed the crash. Oh, right there, the 5 gets into the left rear quarter panel of the 32. And that got the 32 all out of sorts. Right there. And 32 just had to chase it down the track. Does a great job of locking it down. Branson does a great job of locking that W Chevy down and not getting into the outside wall. So great job by him. Limiting the damage to his car. Right there, locks it down. And you see the smoke just kisses the outside wall. Throws that bad boy into reverse, back into 1st, and down and away that 32 goes. But under caution for the 8th time tonight here on lap 93. Colin Bollinger continues to show the way here in the NEXXTCAR Cup Series as he is leading here on lap 93 with Jackson, Irvin, Tucker, and Norman. Your top 5 with Babcock, Smith, Abar, Tulloch, and Wells rounding out your top 10. Great rebound for Abar in the 43. He's done a phenomenal job of getting that 43 back up inside the top 10. But the field, side by side, bumper to bumper behind the pace car with its lights off. Well, you guys know what that means, folks. We are going back racing this time. Bollinger inside, Jackson outside. So far, Daniel Smith has been the only leader to choose that outside line. Bollinger is living on this inside line on these restarts, and why not? Because it has worked for him every time. Down into the restart zone we go. Back underway here at Richmond. 08, not a great launch. That's going to stack up the 25. 92's looking to take advantage of it down into turns 1 and 2, but the 08 trying to power his way back around the outside. 92's going to clear him, tries to cover. Irvin does a great job. Now the 08's forced back to the outside. Here comes the 2 of Babcock to the outside of the 18. The 25, not a great launch out of 4. Here comes the 18 of Norman. Can he get to the inside of the 25? Yes, he can. Gives the 25 a shot. Now the 2 gets a shot. Babcock does a great job of keeping the 2 under control. The 43 is back around out of the backstretch. And out of 32's sitting sideways down the backstretch as well. Higgins back on pit road in the 12. Let's back it up and see what happened here between these guys. The 25 shuts the door on the 18. Right there, the 25 just shuts the door on the 18. And I don't know if the 18 locked up the tires from that or what. Let's back it up a little more here. The 18's there. 25 comes down. 18 loses the nose up into the side of the 2. And unfortunately, well, Alberto Ebar found himself another entry onto the victim list there. But under caution once again here at Richmond as we are closing in on that 100 lap mark. But the 43 is going to get that Ford back underway here. Jackson up 12 positions from the drop of the green flag up into that second spot. Irvin right where he started along with your leader Colin Bollinger. Bollinger started first, currently running first. Irvin started third. He's currently running third. So their nights have been extremely consistent to this point. But folks, we are getting ready to go back racing with 100 laps down, 75 to go here at this 3/4 mile track of Richmond Raceway. Pace car back on pit lane. The control of the field is in the 53's hands once again. Back racing here at Richmond. The 92 of Irvin got a great launch. What can he do with it down into turns 3 and 4? The 08 up the track. 31 follows. 77 trying to get his way around the outside as well. The 25 covers the 31. 92 back to the inside. Drifts up the track a little bit. Oh, and Ron's going to go to 77. Jesse Graham sitting sideways as well. Caution, back out. Caution is back out here as we have crossed the 100 lap mark here on lap 102. It all started with the 5 and the 5 just gets in there hot. Yeah, Jesse Graham just gets in there. walks up the left front, and right up the track he goes, and unfortunately the 77 just happened to be on his outside. 5 just drives it in there extremely deep, and well, unfortunately, Caleb Lamb, even 87 got a little bit of damage out of that. And the 17 somehow got sideways on the front stretch. What happened to the 17? Gets down on the apron and just loses it by himself. But let's jump on the car or the helmet cam of that 5. Let's back it up a little more here. Yeah, he just gets into turns 3 and 4 a little hot there, and well, like I said, unfortunately the 77 just happened to be on his outside, and well, we are back under caution here at Richmond. Ballinger, Irvin, Jackson, Tucker, Smith, your top 5. Smith has had a great run tonight. Remember, he stayed out a couple of cautions ago, took over the lead, dropped like a rock, but here he is on a completely different strategy than everybody else and up inside the top 5 here in this one. But the lights are back off on that pace car. We're going back racing next time by. Higgins has had to take that 12 to the garage as well, loaded it up on the hauler. He is out along with Wingfield, Bridges, Bolander, and Lonnie Wiggins. Higgins had a great run going, but out front, pace car back on pit lane. Ballinger inside, Irvin outside. Down into the restart zone we go. The 53 fires off. 92 does not. Here comes the 08 trying to match. 92 way up the track with the 25. That's going to allow the 08 to clear him out of 2. Here comes the 31. 92 is going to give that 08 a little bit of a shot down into turns 3 and 4. Now to 31 to the inside of the 92, side by side out of 4. Here comes the 09 of Austin Walton. He's trying to work his way up through this field in that Napa Chevy. He spent some time on pit lane at the beginning of this race, getting some damage fixed on that Chevy. But now, here he is in these north of 100 laps here inside the top 10. Battling A-Bar for that 7th position. This is your first side-by-side battle on the track for 7th. Walton inside, A-Bar outside with the 2 just behind him. But folks, what do you guys say? We turn the volume up here on this NEXXTCAR Cup Series race, and let's NEXXTCAR it up here at Richmond. You have got to love the sound of the NEXXTCAR Cup Series making their way around this 0.75-mile track of Richmond Raceway. Quickly closing in on the end of this one, folks. 118 out of 175 as Lamb has to chase that 77 down the track, down the backstretch. Keeps it under control, but we still have got ourselves a battle for the lead, but Bollinger pulling away from Jackson in second. Irvin with a mere full of 31 of Smith behind him, with Tucker with a mere full of Norman in that 18. Abar and Babcock continue their side-by-side battle. This is for that 7th position. That 43 has got a ton of damage to the right front of that Mustang. The 2 of Babcock inside, 43 Abar outside. Now the 2's going to clear the 43. What can he do with it? Mike Campeggio, Caleb Lamb, they continue their big battle all night long. The 14, 77, the 12 before his latest incident. These guys were all running bumper to bumper, side by side. These guys continue it late in this one here. 124 laps down this time by. But out front, Colin Bollinger continuing to pull away the lead. Now 0.8 of a second over Noah Jackson in second. Irvin still trying to hold off a hard-charging Daniel Smith in the 31. Can Smith get to the bumper, the 92? Irvin trying to hold off your defending Cup Series champion. Matt Tucker really holding up the 18 and 2 behind him. How aggressive does the 18 of Norman get? But here comes the 2 of Babcock. I thought he was going to try and get an aggressive move underneath the 18. But these guys starting to stack up behind that 25 through turns 1 and 2. The lead now a full second over Noah Jackson and the rest of the field. That is Colin Bollinger. The 53 has been the car to beat all night long, but side by side through turns 1 and 2, here comes Smith looking to the inside of Irvin. He's going to drive it in deep. He's going to run up the track a little bit. 92 counters. He gusses it up off the corner. He's going to clear to 31 once again at the start-finish line. Smith trying to gather back up, rebound, bring the battle back to the 92. But just in front of them is Noah Jackson. Jackson right in front of them in the 08. He's going to fall back into this battle. He had a nice gap, but now that gap is gone to third. Under 50 laps to go. 45 to go this time. The 2 of Babcock cleared the 43 of Abar. Now has cleared the 18 of Norman with the 25 right in front of him. A great run for Babcock. Side by side, the 77 and 14 continue their battle. The 09 up into the outside wall down the backstretch. But here comes the 77 underneath the 14. Side by side like they have been for what seems like 132 laps here at Richmond. That is for the 12th position. The gap just under 2 seconds from Bollinger to Jackson and the rest of the field. But Jackson has got a mireful of the 92 who is under pressure from the 31. Smith just riding along behind the 92. Then 2 seconds back is Babcock, who has worked his way around the 25 of Tucker. That 25 starting to struggle here as we are entering a long run at Richmond. The 18 trying to work his way back up to the back bumper, the 25 of Matt Tucker. He's looking to the inside. Tucker far outside. Not going to be enough for the 18. They stay single file out of 2. Abar right behind them in a heavily damaged 43. The front and back of that Ford Mustang looks like it has went through a shredder, but here he is still holding strong inside the top 10. But Paint to Luck quickly closing in on this battle as now they continue to run side by side. Tucker and Norman, they got side by side there for a second, but Norman had to lift, cost him a battle for that position and a ton of ground. But now here he is trying to regroup, regather, get that battle back to the back of the 25. But 2.5 seconds now the gap at the front. Smith continues to patiently run behind the 92 of Irvin. How much longer does the Smith just ride around? Bollinger now over 3 seconds the gap. Jesse Graham having a great run inside the top 10. You saw him get involved in a couple incidents tonight, but here he is. He's rebounded nicely in that number 5 Smiley Chevy. He's going to find himself up there just inside the top 10 in 10th. 9 seconds behind your leader, but Lamb, he's trying to hold on to 11th, but Campeggio has fallen into the grasp of the 09 of Austin Walton. Can Mike bring the battle back to the 77 in the 09? As the 09 has cleared him out of 2, but now the 14 driving back, powering his way to the inside of the 09. Not going to get there out of 4. 09 has a position. He's going to cover to the inside. They're both going to run in each other's tire tracks. Almost going to get within bumper striking of the 14. 09 to the outside. 14 to the inside. The 14 drives it in there deep to the inside of the 09 through 3 and 4 side by side, but the 09 is going to be able to get the drive off of 4. Still side by side at the line, but the 09 is going to clear him down into 1. The 14 is going to try and get that battle back. This is for that 12th position. Not going to do so, but he's going to drive it in deep into 3 and 4. The 09 way up the track. That opens up the door big time for Mike into 14. Can he get the drive off the corner? He cannot. The 09 gets back to the front. He's going to clear that 14 once again, but Campeggio not going away. And all this is allowing Caleb Lamb to say, see you later. Keep battling because I will continue to pull away. Now the 09 way up the track. The 14 clears him through 3 and 4. Now, can the 09 try a little crossover move at the line? He cannot. Closing in on 30 laps to go and 2 more times around the track, folks. Bollinger 3.7 seconds the gap. Tucker goes up the track. That's going to allow the 17 to make his move. He's going to clear the 25. Can Norman follow suit in the 18? He cannot. Ronnie Norman continuing to push that 18 towards the front. Almost up into the outside wall out of 4. Tucker's going to fall into position in 7th to luck up into 6th. Babcock just ahead of them in the 2. But the battle for second. The battle for second continues bumper to bumper here on lap 146. 30 laps to go. The 31. He's going to get sideways out of 2. Trying to get underneath the 92. Not going to be able to do so. Loses the back of the car. Has to lift. Catches the car. Keeps it underneath him. And keeps that 31 Pennzoil hooking a book in here on lap 147. But now the 92 gets a little breathing room. Norman has worked his way around that struggling 25. Now can the damaged 43 do the same? 25 goes up the track. That's going to open up the door for the 43. Can A-Bar get the run off the corner? He cannot. A-Bar, a great rebound inside the top 10. Jesse Graham, his strong run continues tonight. He's closing in on the back of the 43. Can he get up there and join these two at this big battle for 8th? A-Bar doing everything he can in a damaged Ford, trying to bring the battle to the 25. That is for the 8th position. The 25 clearly struggling here late. Can he keep that Dubby Chevy underneath them? 25 misses the corner, goes up. That opens up the door for the 43 once again. Under caution for the 11th time. Caleb Lamb in the 77 has crashed on the backstretch. And that is the last thing Ballinger wanted to see with 25 laps to go. Caution for the 11th time. Like we've seen so much tonight out of 2. Calamity Corner just gasses it up and loops it down the backstretch. Does a great job of locking it down, not getting any damage. The rest of the field goes by him. And we are back under caution for the 11th time here on lap 151. But folks, pit lane is busy. But we're going to step away for a quick break. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we have got the closing laps of Richmond right around the corner. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back for lap-to-lap coverage to the checkered flag. All right, folks, welcome back here to Richmond for the closing laps of the NEXXTCAR Cup Series. We are getting ready to go back racing with 21 laps to go. The pace car back on pit road. The control of the field is in the 53's hands, and we are back racing at Richmond. The 92 gets one of the best launches we've seen on that outside line. What can he do with it? He's going to bring the battle to the outside of the 53, side by side through turns 1 and 2. Irvin's going to lose it up into the outside wall, stacks up everything behind him. 4 wide through turns 3 and 4. The 17 backs out of it. And now the 08's going to get sideways. He's going to take the 92 with him. Back under caution with 20 to go. Man, Paul Irvin. Not what you want to see if you are a fan of the Ally Chevy 92. Because, again, a strong race. Going exactly how he needed it. Looking like it is not going to finish the way he needed it. What is it going to take for that 92 to be able to close out one of these races? Gets the launch he needed side by side through turns 1 and 2 with the leader, but loses it out of 2. Gets up into the outside wall and then completely loses it when the 08 wrecks in front of him out of 4. This is the restart, just gasses it up. The car gets up into the outside wall, gets into a 4 wide situation. Little bit of contact there with the 08, who's going to gas it up, try to clear him. And, man, right around they go. Let's jump on the helmet cam of that 92 of Irvin. You hate to see it, because both of those drivers had one heck of a run going. But under caution with 18 laps to go. And now that is going to make the front row on this restart 2 of the best in the business when it comes to not only restarts but racing. Bollinger and Smith both know exactly how to get it done on the track. Both have lifted championship trophies at the end of their seasons. Smith, your season 7 champion here in the Cup Series. Bollinger, your season 6 Cup Series champion. They both know what it takes, what has to be done for a win. Well, how aggressive do these guys get here in the closing laps? 2 great friends, but do they leave that at the front gate when we go back racing with 15 laps to go, folks? 15 laps to go when we go back racing. And look who has found his way through it all up inside that top 10. Jesse Graham is up there in 6th. Mike Campeggio, great run so far, rebounding in that 8th position. But out front, the pace car looking to hook that hard left onto pit lane. The control of the field is in the hands of the 53. We are back into the restart zone, and we are back underway at Richmond. 15 to go. Smith immediately trying to drop to the bottom. Can he bring the pressure to the back of the 53? The 25 goes up high. Matt Tucker way up the track. Jesse Graham going to get wiggly out of 2. Keeps it under control. Matt Tucker, the big dive underneath Babcock. These two have had their issues in the seasons and this season. Now side by side, door to door out of 4. And Jesse Graham gets turned. We're back under caution. No, we stay green. Jesse Graham gets the 5. Now we're under caution. Just when I was talking about his rebound up into 6th. Well, the 5 gets loose out of 4. Oh, he goes for a wild ride here. We're just backing it up here to see if there's any contact between the 09 and the 5 before the 5 gets loose. There is not. And then he catches the asphalt right there, and he goes for a wild ride down the front stretch. Let's jump on our drone cam. Yeah, right there, the right skirting of that car dug into the ground, and man. And we are getting word that the restart is under review. Let's jump back. We're getting word something about the 08. Looking to see what they could possibly yeah, he got underneath the 77 there before they crossed the start finish line. That more than likely will result in a restart violation here. Just taking one more look here. 77 spins the tires. That's Liam. The 08 goes to the inside. That's a questionable call there. That's going to be interesting to see how they rule that. So we're going to have to keep an eye on to see how they rule that restart. But Bollinger and Smith, once again, side by side on the front row. Ten laps to go. 9 to go when we come back to the Geico restart zone here at Richmond. 53 inside, 31 outside. Row 2, 2 and 25. 2 drivers that have had their issues. We are back underway here at Richmond. 53 fires off, 31 matches. Great launch by the 31. Now, he's going to be dead even side by side into turns 1 and 2 on the outside here at Richmond. The 53 clears him, drifts up the track, cuts the door. 31 trying to power back down the backstretch. We're getting word the restart for the 08 was declared clean. But here we go. 8 to go at Richmond. Bollinger out front. Smith in second. Now here comes Babcock trying to battle back into 2. He's trying to get around the 18 in Norman. Jesse Graham down on the apron. The field's going to get by. Oh, the 92 Irvin's up into the outside wall. Carnage down the backstretch. The 08 sideways. Caution is back out for the 14th time. Irvin smacks the wall out of 2 and stacks everything up. Caution is back out here in the closing laps of Richmond. They were in a 3-wide situation. Lamb middle, 08 inside, 92 outside. The 92, yeah, just hits the wall. And the 08, unfortunate damage there. But, man, the 77 obviously has no idea what's about to happen. And that car just hooks a hard left into the inside wall. Let's jump on the roof cam of that 77 to Caleb Lamb. Watch out, Jesse Graham. Man, Jesse barely gonna survive that one. But yeah, let's jump inside the helmet cam of the 77 because he just has absolutely no idea what's about to happen to his outside. Man. Now let's jump on the rear roof cam of the 5 of Jesse Graham. Hang on, folks, because this is going to be close. Woo-hoo-hoo. After getting some damage fixed to the 5, almost going to get involved in another one. But, folks, back under caution for the 14th time with 5 laps to go. The lights are still on, which means they will go off next time by, which means we are going back racing with 3 laps to go. Regulation restart. This is not NEXXTCAR overtime. Bollinger and Smith, Tucker Babcock, Norman Tullock, your front 3 rows. A couple of drivers that have had some history together. The 2 and 25, they've had a lot of history. The 2 and the 17, they've had a lot of history as of recent of last week. Well, can't forget about the 25 and 17 either. Those 2 have definitely had their history together. So how does the 2nd and 3rd row fan out? But all eyes will be on that front row of the 53 inside, 31 outside. And we are back down the backstretch for the final time under this caution. 3 laps to go when we take the green flag in regulation. Again, this is not NEXXTCAR overtime. Back down into the NEXXTCAR restart zone we go. The 53 launches. 31 does not. Tucker trying to clear to 31. Can he do anything down here in the turns 1 and 2? 31 trying to power back around the outside. He's going to stay on the outside. 25 shuts the door. Trying to block again down the backstretch. He's going to overdrive the corner. Tucker way up the track. 18 follows. Now the 31 cannot clear him. 2 to go. Tucker clears the 31. What can he do? Can he run down? The car has been the one to beat all night long. Now the 31's going to slide it through turns 1 and 2. He's going to keep it side by side with the 25. But out front, it is going to be Colin Bollinger leading the field one more time out of 4. He's going to see the white flag this time by, presented by True Designs. Colin Bollinger with the battle side by side behind him for 2nd. Down through the backstretch one last time tonight. Down into turns 3 and 4. Colin Bollinger is going to find his way back to victory lane at Richmond. Smith's going to prevail for 2nd. Matt Tucker 3rd. But Colin Bollinger is heading back to victory lane in the NEXXTCAR Cup Series. Absolutely had the car to beat all night long. Nailed every restart he needed to. Smith gave him a couple good runs, but the 53 continued his strong run from the drop of the green flag all the way to the checkered. He started on the pole, and he is going to transfer that into another win. Bollinger's going to burn it down at the front stretch of Richmond. Colin Bollinger is your winner tonight. burning it down on the front stretch. And let's check out your race results from Richmond. Colin Bollinger is going to find his way back to victory lane with Daniel Smith in second. Matt Tucker rebounds for third. Robert Babcock, a phenomenal run into 2 for fourth. And Ronnie Norman's going to rebound up inside the top 5 in fifth. Abar 6th, Payne Tulloch 7th, Noah Jackson 8th, and his return to NEXXTCAR. Austin Walton 9th, Gary Wills rounding out your top 10. A great run by the 87. Caleb Lamb had a great run in that 77 for 11th. Adam Curtis 12th. Mike Campeggio, after a strong performance tonight, is going to bring home 13th with Paul Irvin 14th. Jesse Graham 15th after a great run here in the closing laps. Well, unfortunately, not going to go his way. Trent Branson 16th, Dougie Higgins 17th, Rayshawn Wingfield in 18th, Owen Bridges 19th, Andrew Bolander rounding out your top 20 with Lonnie Wiggins in 21st. But folks, don't go anywhere because we have got your post-race interviews coming up right after this short break from Richmond Raceway. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Right now, I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way even when I'm feeling down. I fight, even when I don't know what is right. I'ma pick a side, and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate, and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone. Girl, you got me shook from the way your body looks. Got me riding hooks, got me feeling like a rook. I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah. I'll keep it real, let's make a deal. Buy you a meal if you just let me feel. Get out your heels, grab on the wheel. Back to my place at the top of the hill. Don't have regrets, I know what's next. She need a fresh, I'll be back in a sec. Look at them legs, don't make me beg. Back to the room, let me show you my bed. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I could look at you all day, watch the way them hips sway. Love your body, so I pray, don't you dare take it away. Can't control what I say, lost my mind cause your frame. Hey girl, what's your name? Lit me up just like a flame. body in motion, I feel the commotion. Beyond you like lotion, I'm honest and broken. I flow like the ocean, I feel you were chosen to fix me, I'm broken. My heart that you stolen, ayy. Stay with me, play with me, lay with me. Hate to see when you leave, chemistry feels like it's destiny. I just want you laying next to me, and I really don't want you to ever leave. On your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here on screen. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me.
All right, folks, welcome back here to your post-race interviews from Richmond Raceway. And at the end of 175 laps, Colin Bollinger going to find your way back to victory lane in a dominating fashion for that 53.
Yes, sir, man. We did it again. You know, I wasn't expecting to be I lie. I was expecting to be that good. I was just hoping it would have worked out that way, but and it did. So honestly, it was pretty boring night up there.
What is it about Richmond that you love so much?
I mean, honestly, I think it's just I'm pretty decent at the tire saving, and I like the tracks that you kind of have to. There's a lot of roll time, not a lot of on throttle time, so that's where I excel, and especially with the new package on the cars now, well, new update I should say. I was able to run my pace in the lead and still kind of aero block and put air on guys behind me, and once the tires worked in for me, I kind of just would end up pulling away from them after a while, and that was kind of it. Just had to manage the restarts, do everything I could, and yeah, we walked away. I think we led almost every lap except maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, no, you mentioned it, managing the restarts. Obviously, the restart king tonight, but you had to survive a late race threat from Daniel Smith and the 08 there, but you know, the 08 obviously losing it, but Smith done a phenomenal job on one of those late restarts. We entered turns 1 and 2 side by side with you, but hey, you were able to hold him off.
Yeah, I mean, we always race good together. You know, he's my team owner, so I was trying not to race him too hard, but I was lucky to get a good run on the bottom there. I mean, the car with its new tires on the bottom is just undefeated. I mean, the bottom there for the first 25 or so laps. I mean, it's kind of all night for me. That's where I like to run it, but those new tires felt so good, so I knew as long as we can get clear, we were going to hold it pretty much the rest of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Next week, Las Vegas. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel like another win's coming. I kind of wish we would have ran. I wish I was home last week because I think I won the week prior, and Darlington was a good track for me, and I'm so upset I missed it because I think we could have had 3. But we'll try next week. Got to start the streak off somewhere.
Absolutely, buddy. And what a better way to start off the streak than heading into the playoffs. But hey, congrats on that win tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your second place finisher. Man, Daniel Smith, once again, finding yourself up front on a late race restart. But hey, you had a great battle with that 53 tonight, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for that 31 tonight. You had to battle back from a couple adversities tonight.
Hold on. I gotta get dehydrated. Fuck it. that shit was hot as balls, man. I don't know about y'all, but oh man, I probably lost that 50 pounds out there. That was rough. But yeah, battling my teammate. There's only a few people want to beat more than anybody. That's one motherfucker I always want to beat, and I just couldn't get there tonight, and he got the best of me. But it's always fun to battle with him, and wish we could have got a little bit longer of a shot with the long run with me getting behind. I feel like it would have been a little bit more funner battle, but yeah, he did his thing.
Yeah, you mentioned how, the hot, and man, that track, it was definitely hot and slick. It looked like a lot of fun to be behind one of them wheels tonight.
Yeah, just not inside.
Obviously coming into tonight's race, 100 points above the cutoff line. Obviously, you've locked your place into the playoffs, but, obviously you want to enter the playoffs on a high note. Well, we got Las Vegas next week, and then Indianapolis to round out the regular season. But which of those two, or both, do you feel the best at?
I mean, I feel like we're good anywhere. Our goal is to always shoot for the win. We just got to beat all the other people that are decently fast as well, and just try to get the best of everybody else. And tonight, Colin got me tonight, and hopefully I get him next week, and hopefully the week after. Just being consistent is what I'm trying to do.
Absolutely, especially when your other two competitors are at the top of the standings struggle tonight, Wingfield and Bolander. But hey, congrats on the big points tonight and getting second.
Oh yeah, much appreciated. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your third place finisher, Matt Tucker. Man, it's been a while since we've talked to you after one of these things.
Well, I did finish second. I did finish second at Michigan, but you weren't there, so. But it's all good. I mean, yeah, it has been a while. So, I mean, slowly but steadily, just trying to improve. So, we'll take the third place finish and try to build off that for the end of the regular season.
Absolutely. Walk us through the last couple laps there, because before a couple laps before that last caution, that 25 was starting to struggle. But here you are after that caution, walking away with the top three.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my kryptonites is long runs. So, long run there, that second stage, and I kind of just burnt the right front. So, gotta try to start doing something, changing my steering or doing something with everything, because I feel like I just ran the bottom the whole time, but I don't know, probably entering the corner a little too hard. So, but got the caution there, and then it looks like the 92, like we had talked about in the pre-race, he just didn't finish the deal, and him and the 08 wrecked, and just somehow got a third place finish out of it. So can't complain about that though. But congrats to Colin. I mean, we talked about in the pre-race that he's gonna be probably one to beat tonight, and he proved that. So overall, I think pretty solid race tonight. Had some issues with some guys, but not terrible like Peyton thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no, it definitely started out a little rough, but after about lap 50, it seemed like everybody got it figured out. But how do you feel about these next 2 weeks? Las Vegas, and then we round out the regular season at Indianapolis.
Oh, I think Indy's going to be good. I mean, it's one of my favorite tracks with it being close to me, so I feel like I got to run good there. But Las Vegas is going to be a learning thing. I mean, most of the playoff races are a mile and a half, so I think that's going to be the one track where you're going to want to try to get your P's and Q's down and try to learn as much as possible. So, and then try to earn some more playoff points. I mean, we're kind of close to pretty scrambled up between like 3rd through 7th. So, earn a couple more playoff points, earn up the standings. Hopefully we can do that next couple weeks.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on that third place finish tonight.
Thanks, buddy.
But folks, that is going to do it for your post-race interviews here from Richmond Raceway. It started out rough, but the drivers got it figured out, and we had ourselves a great run tonight. But Colin Bollinger, in dominating performance, going to find his way back to victory lane. But next week, we head to Las Vegas for the NEXXTCAR Cup Series. But tomorrow night, the NEXXTCAR Xfinity Series heads north of the border to Montreal for their race. That's going to be one you are not going to want to miss. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. God bless, and good night.
We'll be right back.